90-day hypertrophy project week 2. Are you interested in acquiring and adding 5 to 7 pounds of lean body tissue mass on your frame in the next 90 days? You're going to want to tune in to this experiment I'm doing on myself. So if you guys are new to training or you haven't trained in a long time, you can get away with doing just about whatever you want as a natural trainer and notice immediate change in your body. But for those of you that are like me that have trained for years and years and have tried everything under the sun, often you can feel like you've plateaued, like you've reached your maximum optimal body tissue composition. And I honestly believe that that is just an idea. It's a mental concept we've bought into that limits what we're truly capable of. So I'm going to show you through this process of having tweaked and gone through every different type of training stimulus, regardless of how advanced you are in training, how often you train, how strong or not strong you are, you're going to want to tune in to this 90-day hypertrophy experiment. So today I'm going to show you a kind of workout I'm doing in this first phase of the 90-day training. All right, guys, so these first few weeks I've designed this program as a push-pull 6-day week thing where your quads are trained with push and your hamstrings and calves are trained with pull. This is my quad exercise, my main quad exercise. It's a reverse hack squat on this Atlantis hack squat machine. This is the best hack squat I've ever used. The angle is perfect. It's buttery smooth. But I love this movement. I love this movement almost more than a hack squat. It's total core engagement and it's total quads. And I can get really, really deep without any knee pain, without any lower back pain or fatigue. So I've done a couple warm-up sets and then I do one crazy all-out set as much as I can do with 2 to 3 rest pause sets. So this is just showing you some clips of this particular movement. If you have a hack squat in your gym, you should totally try it. But the idea is you want to pick one main movement that you do as your main quad or hamstring developer, and that lets you just try to do one crazy all-out set as much as you can do. It's different than DC training because I find DC training doesn't give you enough volume. Then I'm just going to add 1 to 2 additional pump sets as I feel up to it. I'm doing one strip set with leg extensions, looking at 8 to 10 rep range and just doing 3 to 4 strips straight with no rest. And I kind of felt afterwards that there's still a little bit left that I need to stimulate my quads. My quads need more stimulation than other muscle groups. So I just did one straight all-out set on this pre-core lunge machine. And then I moved to chest. So obviously after you've trained the legs a little bit, your chest, you're not going to be able to do the same weight you're used to on chest. So I'm looking for 1 to 2 warm-up sets and then one straight hard set as much as I can do in that set, as much intention as I can put in the muscle. So this is just a warm-up set. This is me getting ready for my main set. I'm looking for 8 to 10 reps. I've got a band on this. This is the Gymlico chest press machine. I've got the Flex Fitness version, but I find this is much better than the Flex. Notice the angle. This is like a decline. For some reason, people, when they use this machine, they sit, I think they sit down too low. When the bar doesn't match up with your nipples or lower, all you're going to do is get a lot of deltoid recruitment. I find this really hits the chest rather than my deltoids, which is why I love it. So I'm really trying to push as much as I can. I think I get 8 or 9 reps, and I do a couple rest pauses with the set. And I got a little bit left, so I do this Nautilus 50-degree chest machine. Great machine. I think I get about 20 reps. Again, me judging how much volume I need to really stimulate maximum protein synthesis with not going overboard. So it takes conscious effort for me to not do too much. So then shoulders are next. Many of you know my philosophy of the shoulders is different than some. To develop optimal shoulders, I don't believe pressing is your key. I believe lateral raise movements are your key. This is the Medix lateral raise, one of my favorites. So I superset with the setting all the way out, which really hits the rear delt. You can see the angle there. And this is one arm at a time, really focusing on range of motion. The key with this machine, with lateral raises, with shoulder development, is hitting it from all range of motion. So I'm actually getting some trap recruitment here, which I don't care about. I actually want to. I'm just trying to force and go all the way through the range of motion. And then what I do is I turn the setting in to a traditional lateral raise where I lean into it and I do one arm at a time. So I actually only do 2 sets here. I do one crazy all-out set after a warm-up set and then just some rest pauses after that. And then again, I find it needed a little bit more stimulation, so I just did one set with 20-pound dumbbells, like 20 to 25 reps. Try not to overdo it, but really push it. So, and then I went to triceps to do just a 60-degree tricep extension with these Prime Fitness bars with 2 cables. My triceps don't need as much stimulation, and I find with biceps as well, sometimes I can do too much. More than not, I do too much, and it's hard for me to recover. So I just do 1 or 2 warm-up sets and then 1 all-out set with some drop sets here. Again, try not to overdo it, but hit that sweet spot between enough stimulation and too much. So hope you enjoyed that workout. So observations from week 2. From my perspective, I've still got to resist the temptation to try to put everything into one workout, to try to just go crazy all in one session because I want to be a hero. It's truly a long-term game, and it's not about how you feel in the gym. It truly is ultimately, whether you're natural or not, but particularly as a natural, about how well you recover. Period. So that's what I'm really trying to focus on. It's still very hard for me to hold back. It's very hard for me to feel like I've given enough because I'm used to crazy pumps in the gym, and I'm used to just crazy volume. So this first phase is really focused on frequency, really focused on maximum mechanical tension and muscle fatigue. Not as much the metabolic stress component of hypertrophy. That's going to be the second phase, which you're going to love. When we hit density, you are just going to blow up because you've reached a point where you've truly optimized muscle protein synthesis and your positive net nitrogen balance. And then once we hit volume and density, that's where the magic is going to happen. So tune into this channel. I'd love for you to subscribe. Leave some comments below on what you think. I'm going to put together a blueprint if you guys are interested of how to do this on your own. I mean, you can tweak this depending on your own body type. But again, for me, I am a slow twitch fiber person. And from my perspective, if you're looking for hypertrophy, you can't train as a strength athlete. Strength certainly matters, but only as it pertains to the rep range of hypertrophy. That's what I've honestly realized. Like, it's a waste of time for me to focus specifically on mechanical tension all the time, just by trying to get stronger only, because that's truly more just a neurologic stimulus. And as a natural athlete, your stimulus to fatigue ratio in your nervous system just isn't worth training as a strength athlete for most people. Now, there are some fast twitch fiber people that just respond well, so that's awesome for them. I'm not like that, and I know most people aren't like that are natural. So have an awesome day. Let me know what you think below. Stay tuned for some more awesome workouts.